seedy lifestyle.
Why professional wrestling is the perfect form of entertainment. Yes, we talk about comics. Yes, we talk about actors. I just like travel hubs. Like, I like airports, bus stations, shit like that. I just like them.
That's the most
I laugh
basic
every time.
level of fame. You constantly have the option to get laid. Farley died doing what he loves too. He will tell you I'm a bad driver, but there's no evidence for that.
I have intuition, and I'm deep in this. Dude, people fall
There's
for
no
absolute
evidence for that.
monsters on a regular basis.
Oh my
All
God.
right. So welcome to the latest episode of Two Hippies, One Drunk, episode 11. This show is a little bit different in that we switch hosting duties each week and we talk about whatever we want. We pick a subject and we go on about it for an hour. This week, I have picked the Jamie Kennedy First Night 2013. I'm sorry, I am also sharing this currently right now because that is a smart move. But yeah, no, please give us 5 stars. Like us on iTunes, Spotify, all of that. It would mean a lot. And thanks for being here again. So this week, I wanted to talk about Jamie Kennedy's 2013 New Year's fiasco.
I don't know anything about this, by the way.
Yeah, I'm excited to get to share it with you. You know, it's.
I think someone has their
Yeah.
Okay.
I just, you know what? I'm not sharing it this week.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's fine. You can share it afterwards.
No, okay. Like this one was a little bit. I've been struggling. We did the Woodstock '99 episode for the first episode of Big Events Gone
Good
Wrong.
stuff.
Yeah,
Honestly, our highest downloaded episode, by the way.
nice.
Yeah.
And this one's a little lighter. It's a little funnier, and I wanted to find a way to frame it that would allow us to kind of talk about it in a way that isn't just me being like, and then this happened, and then that happened.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How did Jamie Kennedy just become famous for? Did he have famous family that just got him in the business? I mean,
Yeah, that's a good question.
You know what's funny? Actually,
how was he famous? Why?
His last name being Kennedy.
You thought he was a part of the Kennedys?
I thought he was a part of like the Kennedys. Like,
Yeah.
Wacky Kennedy that just does scream and it just does his own little. You guys like those. No, I think they would disassociate. He would have to change his name if he was an actual Kennedy.
I mean, what is it? You got a Kennedy?
Oh yeah,
who
we wouldn't want to disparage the name of things such as like killing a girlfriend under the bridge and just driving away or anything.
I think Ted Kennedy, who killed a girl and covered it up,
I think
might be the worst Kennedy.
You could argue if Jamie Kennedy was part of the Kennedys, I think you could argue that other than, I mean, I knew you're not going to like John F. Kennedy, but like he would not be considered a black sheep to me. Like he's more.
Yeah, no, totally. Okay, but no, he came from just some random suburban middle class family.
Okay,
I will give him
Did
that.
he earn his way then? I mean,
He did.
Wow.
Believe it or
Good for
not.
him.
I did not think that would be
Okay,
the
and
case.
here's the thing. I have been in
uncle.
preparation for this podcast. I have been just living in Jamie Kennedy's brain for the last week.
Which I'm sorry for.
No.
I didn't even have to
What
experience
dedication to the show.
what you had to go through. Like so much podcast. He listened to like the Jamie Kennedy.
I listened to like 10 hours of Jamie Kennedy's podcast.
Oh my God, I forgot.
like-
what did you listen to? Because I forgot about the Jamie. Remember the Jamie Kennedy Experience? What was that?
Experiment. Yeah, the
Experiment.
CW show. So bad. But okay, here's
What
my
is the
thing.
podcast called?
What hate to break it to you with Jamie Kennedy.
That's such a name that he would have, I think.
Knowledge of
You have no idea. Because, okay, here's my thing. Is like, the way it is to me, at least, I hit a point at first, I kind of wanted to view him as like a tragic figure in a way. Where I looked at it, and I was like, you know what, man? This guy he busted his ass. He made his way. He got a job he was completely unqualified for. Right?
Yeah.
Like, because he's
for
got...
the New Year's
being a
thing?
movie star. No, being a movie star.
Being a movie star.
He has no...
That's a
I don't think, are any of them
He has no
qualified
charisma.
to be a movie star? Who's qualified to be a movie star?
Somebody with charisma and
I mean,
likability.
for how much
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
just at a base
That's
how
fair.
much you're hating on him. You've talked about you like him in Scream, right?
Yeah, his role in Scream is a good role. It's
so
a good movie.
Doesn't that make him qualified to be in movies?
No, he's an obnoxious jackass in Scream. But he's supposed to be.
Yeah,
he was in Scream. I'm trying to remember who he was in Scream.
He's like the movie nerd who gives them the rules for the horror movie.
Yep. Is Jamie Kennedy a less successful Seth not Rogen, but the Family Guy?
Green?
Seth Green.
Oh, I could see that.
Yes.
He's just like a little
equivalent.
Right.
Like Seth Green made it in his own way.
Yeah.
And
like maybe there's his evil twin or something, and the one made it, the one didn't.
Parallel universe thing where that's what would have happened if Seth Green did.
Because they're kind of the same people in a lot of ways. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Except Seth Green has a certain level of likability.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I said. Like it's just right.
None. And
is he just a douchebag?
Yeah, here's my thing. That's why I wanted to view him as tragic to begin with, is because he does have. Imagine you got your dream job, you got everything you ever wanted, but you were totally, deeply unqualified for it, and you couldn't do it.
Yeah, been there.
Everybody in the world, and everybody in the world is watching you.
Yeah.
And so I did. I felt bad for him for a while. Then I listened to his podcast, and I was like, "Oh yeah, he is the worst douchebag." And
is he just so into himself? That's the biggest thing for me.
So he thinks that he's the shit, and that's why you hate him?
He thinks that he's the shit, and it very clearly comes out of insecurity. You can feel that. I mean, in his podcast, he is constantly arguing with some sort of viewer that he imagines is going to comment on his stuff.
So they're not real?
Preemptively,
yeah. He'd be like, I know what they're going to say. I know what they're going to write, blah, blah, blah.
I wonder, it's hard honestly, it's harder than people realize to see this, but I wonder how popular his podcast, and is he going to get the cat?
No, okay. Yeah, I actually have a good gauge. I have a good metric for how popular he is. He is selling B-Rad hoodies, and he's super exclusive. There's only 25 of them.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, take out of that one.
Yeah, even if you're trying to do some version where you're like, oh, we're so popular that blah, blah, blah. I think you would, I'd wonder if they even sold those out, by the way.
Right. Imagine wearing a B-Rad hoodie.
Yeah.
From Malibu's Most Wanted.
What is, right.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And what is he? No, he's currently doing a podcast. He's still doing it right now.
Yes, he's still doing it.
What does he talk about? Just
okay, yeah, actually,
I know this is so off of what you're getting at, but I'm very interested now.
He's trying to do one of these jaded truth teller sort of things.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
This
is how it really goes down in Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, it's called "Hate to Break It to You." That's the vibe.
He has any knowledge that would be even if you were on a movie with him and you were just starting out, I would not respect him. I would not be like, oh, I'm going to learn something from Jamie Kennedy. It's I'm going to avoid that fucking guy. He's full of himself and not very good.
Okay, so just I actually wrote down some of his, because the thing is it is the dumbest, most obnoxious moron in the world, and he's talking to you like you're stupid.
Oh boy.
Is the podcast, and here's just some of his
the listener.
I wonder what his net worth
the listener is stupid. I know you don't get this, but I'm gonna tell you.
You're gonna learn today.
Yeah. Okay. And here's some of his hot takes. I have to say these real quick because man, he had one hot take where he was talking about that women's march, when Trump became president or whatever.
Yeah.
And that devolved into him talking about how if women didn't want guys to sexualize them, they should just fuck everybody.
Oh boy. And here's my problem with this. Here's my problem with that take more than the obvious of why someone would not like that. Yeah. It doesn't sound like he's even doing it like if you and me and Tyler were fucking around on this and we kind of just said, if you kind of said it in a gesture-ish way or ironically, we're being stupid. Yeah, it sounds like that's an opinion of his.
Yes, Yeah, no, it's a straight his actual.
No,
mindset.
he's very much like his entire thing with the podcast. No,
Is it serious?
I am. This is the real me. You're getting the real me. And
Who was asking for that?
Who
Exactly.
wanted Jamie Kennedy's real
Yeah,
self?
who was?
The dude from Malibu's Most Wanted.
No,
Imagine somebody out there just. Let's look at this. There's obviously like some people probably think he's funny. Like if you don't dive into anything, you've just seen those movies, you might think, that guy's kind of funny guy. But even the guy who's not looked into anything, doesn't know anything about him other than a few movies that he thought he was okay in, with someone really sitting around going, I need Jamie Kennedy's hot takes on society.
Not a single human being.
And that's
I would argue that's true. Not one.
Interested in Jamie Kennedy is a passive fan who's like, I guess he's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Nobody was gonna seek out his podcast.
No, Malibu's Most Wanted is on Comedy Central, and I'm high at 2 p.m.
Yeah, so I'm gonna check it out. But then, like nobody's like, oh shit, the new Jamie Kennedy stuff.
By the way,
another one. Sorry, I just got to get this one.
No, go ahead.
One other one in, and then we're gonna get to the New Year's special. He had another hot take where he literally he did blackface for some online sketch, and a bunch of people got mad at him.
Of course.
And it's him.
And when did he do it? Like pretty recent?
Yeah, pretty recent.
Okay.
How recent? Like how many?
Within the last year or two.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
And his podcast is him literally screaming about this.
Oh my god! I almost want to listen now.
Yeah. Wait, screaming about like people getting mad at me?
Yeah.
Like fuck them?
Yeah.
Like, would you say it's a half an hour long?
Yeah,
or
it's about
40
a half
minutes?
hour long.
I would listen to that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna listen to this. I
sounds
think
pretty
because
good. Honestly, I will check out that episode.
Yeah.
What a psychopath.
By the way, these are not always right. I've known some people that have even that have been on these, so they're not always right. But Celebrity Net Worth has them at $10 million as far as a net worth.
That's not bad, but
that's pretty good for him. I've seen bigger celebrities that you look up and it's like 200,000. I'm like, boy.
I have a question. Do you think that podcast was spawned out of just his own insecurity and like wanting to tell people that he's good?
Yes.
That he's like cool? Or it is like I wanted
there's deeper levels to him.
Yeah.
That's what he's going for.
Okay, so it's not like I wanted to make a podcast because I want people or I want to talk about stuff. It's like I need people to know I'm awesome.
Yes. Oh, 100%. Okay. And you feel that dripping off of him.
Definitely send that
every
episode to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to that.
Yeah, you guys got it. We'll get in the group text.
I almost hate.
Yeah.
Okay, so he became famous in Scream. He did Malibu's Most Wanted, Jamie Kennedy Experiment, both unwatchable in my opinion.
We're stupid kids. When Malibu's Most Wanted came out, I thought that movie was hilarious. I
can see that. I mean,
I just thought it was funny as shit. But it's not.
Well, no, you know what? Though when we talk about when we did Austin Powers last week, I don't think there's
that's cancel
wrong.
culture. It has a lot of cancel culture shit inside.
Oh, really? That doesn't even bother me. But I think there's nothing wrong. You can even hate people. Like there's nothing wrong with saying when I was young. I mean, when you're young, you're dumb. Like you're gonna like those movies that are overtly stupid sexual jokes.
I had a bad opinion.
Okay, so
anyway.
And then I really want to get to the New Year's special, so I just want to say one more thing. We had the 2008. Have you ever heard of the movie, the documentary Heckler?
No.
Oh my God, it is another. Like I said, man, I've been living it. I've dropped 20 IQ points in the last week. Just my brain has been melted, just absorbing Jamie Kennedy.
Yep.
But he made this documentary called Heckler in 2008, which is like a bunch of comics talking about hecklers. And the first half of it, and so it's kind of interesting, like we've all dealt with.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
like that doing stand-up,
that does sound interesting.
But then halfway through, he switches it, and he's like, who are the real hecklers? Is movie critics.
Oh boy,
because they hate his movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
How
dare someone? 100%. How dare someone hate Malibu's Most Wanted?
Yeah. How dare you?
And the last half hour. Okay, the thing is, movie critics too are real fucking nerds. Like they are.
Yeah, for sure.
Big time. Just like fucking.
I don't even understand why it's a job.
Like string around the glasses, like nerds.
Right.
And it is Jamie Kennedy just harassing these people.
Like to their face, or like he's just
face.
like,
and they film it, right?
Yeah, totally. Like there's one guy like
were they like on the streets or something, or does he bring him in under the?
So
okay,
they agree to an interview.
Okay,
like there's one interview he does where this guy is like where he's like, why don't you like my movies? He's talking about Son of the Mask. He's like, why don't you like Son of the Mask? Son of the Mask is a good movie. He goes, it's breaking new ground. And the critic goes, what new ground is it breaking? And he goes, it's a really strong baby that can throw things.
I've got to watch this now too. Like, is this on? Do you have to pay for this, or is it on something?
You can get it on Amazon Prime for free.
Damn it! Well, it depends, because sometimes I have Amazon, but like if it's not a premium subscription, I'm not going to pay $3.99 for it. But if it's for free, I'll watch it.
I would. Yeah, I mean, just steal it.
Just get it online, for free.
But yeah, and then this devolves
into
exists.
Him. If you don't believe in it, it's real. Streaming's real.
Okay, right. But this devolves into him being like, he's just talking to this like nerdy movie critic. He's like, oh yeah, you know, like my movies, huh? Well, have you ever had one girl sucking your balls and then another girl jerking your shaft like at the same time?
He's telling this to the movie critic?
Yes.
and this is just so he's just
thing to be like, you haven't done that, so you're not as cool as me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So at that point, it had nothing to do with why he didn't like his movie. He's just telling him a story from his life.
Like anything to do with the movie.
Not at all.
It's like he's just like, I'm rich and you're not.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, so he's like, oh, you don't like my movie, huh? Have you ever had one girl jerk you off?
Yeah, you don't like my movie?
I have. It cost me $200, but I had it happen. Like, I mean, dude.
Okay, but all of that pales.
And also, that seems like a devolving into that dude's personal life way too much, or like Jamie Kennedy's personal life. Like, why are you having this open conversation about how you got your dick sucked?
Yeah, no, totally. Because how are you going to defend Son of the Mask? You can't do it.
You got to bring up.
Well, that movie got my dick sucked by two different girls.
That movie is utter. That's a dog shit of a movie.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I've never seen it.
It's bad.
I'm sure.
And by the way, when we talked about
a baby gets the mask. Whatever.
I've never even heard of it, and I'm never gonna watch it. But like when we talked about like reality show, him bragging that he got some girls to bang, like dude, like we said in the reality show episode, dude, the second Jackass went on the air, Steve-O, who was like literally pissing himself, was fucking girls in bars.
Yeah,
so it's a big
hobo
fucking
just getting laid.
Right. So big fucking deal. Yes, you should get laid if you make a movie that made it to a theater. You should 100% get laid.
It's just a given, and he's using it as a staple of his coolness.
Right.
Well, and apparently to show why the movie was good.
It
was so bad. Why would these girls suck my dick?
It's good because it gave me the money to get hookers. Like, come on, bro.
Let me ask you this: if that movie was so bad, how come these girls sucked my dick? Huh?
Literally, that's his argument. Unironically,
because you're famous. It has nothing to do with your fucking movies.
Okay, but now that we're here, all of that pales in comparison.
What year is the New Year's Eve special?
First night 2013, January 1st, 2013.
God. Okay. You know what the funny thing is? These specials, to me, and everyone has their different opinions on New Year's Eve, but once I got to 21, I didn't watch any of this shit. I was like at bars or something. These specials that people do. I'm like, you watch them until you're like, can drink to me. And even before that, probably 18 even, really.
And then you might, once you get to like retirement age, you might loop back around a while.
But then you're watching fucking old people things. You're not watching that Jamie Kennedy.
There's like a brief period where that shit's relevant. Because do they still do that? I mean,
yeah, absolutely. They have New Year's things every year.
I do not pay attention to that.
Okay, and the thing is, like, it is.
Was it on MTV or?
Yeah, it was on MTV.
I figured. Yeah.
So it's not the main New York one either, right? It's like,
no. Their whole thing is we're doing a West Coast New Year. We're doing a LA New Year.
Okay.
But did they? The funny thing is, if they're doing an LA one, so did they do it at LA New Year? Or because everyone on the East Coast is asleep by the time.
Yeah. No, and they reference that. I mean, that's a problem right off the bat.
Are they doing it live or is it taped? Mostly,
they're doing it live.
It's 4 hours early or something, right?
Yes, I mean, at least 3.
So nobody else in the country is celebrating except for them.
No. So that's the basis you're going off of to start with. And the thing is, like, I really had to find the highlights because I'm not kidding you. Every single second of this thing is so wrong-headed.
Should I watch this?
Weird. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I want to check it out myself. Like I've heard
you
little,
watch like the first 20 minutes of it with me, and
Yeah.
it doesn't change.
Yeah, but I got to see the whole. How long is it?
Like an hour and a half.
Yeah, there's so much more. I want to watch the whole thing, and he's honestly over the years like trickled things to me, telling me about this special. So I kind of know some of it, but it's like I want to just sit down and get high and watch that shit.
Okay, so we start like it is Jamie Kennedy doing a monologue for like 5 minutes. And
he's doing stand-up?
He's doing stand-up.
Did he do stand-up in his life in real life or no?
Yes, but
did he do it afterwards, or did he do it like, oh, now I've been in Scream?
He had a 2008 special.
So
a special, really?
Special.
But that's after he was famous. He wasn't a comic before he got Scream. Was he?
I think he went to Scream to stand-up comedy to
doing Malibu's Most Wanted.
To the Jamie Kennedy experiment.
He did a special, so like an hour. He did it. Like, oh my god,
he did an hour.
Okay,
it's bad. I mean, the jokes are.
You listened to the special?
Terrible. I watched some of it. Okay. Yeah.
Oh my god,
they're very similar to his New Year's special jokes, but okay, there are people on the stage actively like putting things together, like workers.
Yeah, I saw this in the background. While he's doing it, and then he references it. Like he's even like, it's hard to do this stand up with these people up here.
Well, here's the thing: how does he reference? Does he reference it in how you're saying? Because to me, there'd be now this day and age, I think with us,
honestly, like 10 minutes into his set. And it's a weird thing.
But does he reference it? Does he reference it like you just said, where it's like he's almost like it's losing his focus? Because you know what I mean?
No, he bombs. Well, and I have some of these jokes written down, and we're gonna get
okay.
But he bombs his jokes so badly that he starts blaming it on. He's like, it's really hard to do it up here with all of these people working. I can barely see the teleprompter. Like he just is trying to blame it on.
To be fair, it would suck to have people setting up a stage while you're trying to do stand up.
But you could do it in a fun. You could do it. The reality is one of his jokes.
Exactly what you were saying. Like you could joke around with it.
And the problem is,
this is crazy, stupid. Like what's going on?
Wow, we got a real high budget here. They're putting the shit together as I'm doing my
better joke than anything he said.
But the root of it is the problem is the quality of the jokes. That is the main problem, and he's trying to put it all on this situation.
Of course he is, yeah.
Okay, and the thing is, the camera keeps switching, and it's like there's the one front angle where actually, like, you can only see one or two people kind of walking by, moving in the background. It's not as bad. But then it switches to these two other angles where literally you can see a whole staff of people.
And that shows how terrible they are, too. Like, the whole thing is not set up because it's like, keep it on the front camera. Don't move it.
Yeah. What's the director doing?
Yeah, exactly. No, get those guys in the back. Well,
you know what? You'd always have to wonder how much, if you went back and looked at it, how much Jamie had to do with the production. And if he's I wonder if he's just such a mess that he didn't even have.
Just hire him on, or is he in charge of stuff?
He's in charge.
No, I wouldn't say he would hire them on, but like maybe he didn't even have the scripts right. Like maybe he was supposed to do like the bits and they weren't ready in time, or who knows?
Yeah. Totally. Okay, and here's I'm gonna read you some of his quotes.
Yeah.
On this stand-up
okay, I'm gonna shut up.
No, Kim Kardashian had a baby this year. At the birth, her husband Kanye West said, "I'm gonna let you finish," but Beyonce had the best pregnancy this year. That was funnier than that. That was funnier than you acted.
I guess
that was funnier than that. That was funnier than you
because
acted.
The crowd is silent. In fact, at one point it cuts to somebody doing the like "come on" motion,
like this. The audience. You mean like a floor producer?
Come on,
you mean like a floor?
The audience was doing that to Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah.
No, he means a worker, right? Like a worker, right? Like a studio, like.
Just
an audience member. It was cutting for an audience reaction.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
You know what's funny? I'm gonna say this. To me, I think the problem is we and you're gonna let you say these other ones, but I think we hit it. We set the bar so low that wasn't terrible to me. Like you know what I mean? Because you know what it's referencing, right? With the Taylor Swift and stuff.
It's more so the fact that the audience is openly hostile and he is fighting with them.
Well, some of that could be, I don't know if you guys, I mean, I've never done anything with live TV, but I've watched enough stuff on it. If he's as douchey as he is and whatnot, he might have gone out there before they even started taping and tried to do crowd work. And if he sucked dick, or if he,
and they're already pissed.
They could have already been pissed.
Oh, that is probably.
I was just saying that wasn't as bad as I thought.
On
it was gonna
paper,
be.
that joke is not great, but it's
passable. Yeah.
But again, I think we set the bar so low.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
A Gangnam style. Gangnam?
Oh, God.
Is that how you say that? Sir, you have great hair. That hair ain't going nowhere.
Wait. Say that again. Say the whole thing.
He starts to tell a Gangnam style joke.
Mm-hmm.
And then halfway through, just decides he's going to do crowd work because the joke's going to bomb.
So the hair thing had nothing to do. I assumed that you were
picked a guy in the crowd, man.
Yeah, it says, sir, you have great hair. That hair ain't going nowhere.
Can you please? Is there a possibility that you could
for the rest of the night?
Did you write the joke down?
Did I write the joke?
Can you tell me?
Yeah, I remember what it was actually.
Could you kind of tell me where he?
Yeah, it's so
he's like Gangnam style. Am I right?
Then he says, so now when people think of an Asian rapper, they don't think of the plastic on their fortune cookie.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
I don't even care about the racist aspect. That's just
nothing. Which was almost booze.
Yeah,
on the verge of booze.
Do you know how bad it is, by the way, to get that level of a react? These people, when you go to these shows, they want to be on TV. They're like you're told like in the day.
They want to be screaming. They want to be cheering, laughing.
They have workers that are
all day waiting for this party to happen. And then
it's like, dude, most people want to experience. You're gonna see live TV, and there would have been people before they started going, "Hey guys, this is awesome!"
Yeah, hype it up. They probably got an applause sign. They probably got everything set up for it. Everyone's ignoring it. No one's paying attention to that shit.
Okay, so because he says the Asian rapper thing, and then he goes back to the guy with the hair again and says,
this guy over here.
I know he's getting this guy.
I need to make you the mascot for Hair Club, sir. You've got great hair.
Did they cut to this guy at all?
I was thinking about that too. Was he making fun of a bald man, or was he? But he's just fucking trying to get somebody on his side.
Spiritedly making fun of a bald man. I don't think so, but who knows?
Yeah, we'll never know and never cut to it.
Okay. So here's another quote. Boy bands have had a clear, sorry, I meant clear, tape delay. Excuse me, it's a clear. I'm sorry, I can't see crap. It's a clear sign that music is headed in one direction. Anyone? Womp, womp, womp. It's really great to do jokes when I got a bunch of guys grabbing crap.
Now, did he really say the clear part?
Yeah, he said the clear part.
And then
he literally goes, womp, womp, womp.
Yeah, was it supposed to be in the joke?
The little joke thing, like womp, womp, womp.
Yeah.
Laughed. It's just him sweating.
Do you believe that the queer thing was supposed to be in the joke, or was he legit actually
He said it and then realized that didn't go well, and he changed it up. I feel like hands down, Jamie Kennedy's making a queer joke.
I think he's just covered in flop sweat and just trying
anything he can.
That's fair.
Oh boy,
I can believe that. But that's also a bad way to try to get out of that, by slipping up by saying.
I want to watch this now. I really
do. I would definitely recommend it. Okay, so. Then we cut to, it's so weird too, because there are commercials included in this. And it's like the same 4 commercials, and some of them are very weird. Fucking weird. Because, this is a thing we haven't gotten into yet, but Carl's Jr. Sponsored the whole thing. And so they are a constant presence in this. Nice. And Carl's Jr. for some reason, literally, the Carl's Jr. star is at the top of this nativity scene.
That is fucked up,
dude. I get sponsorship.
So awful. That is bad. That is bad people being bad people.
And Carl's Jr. was in the middle of this campaign where they were trying to make their food sexy for some reason.
Yes, I remember that. They'd have like a hot supermodel.
Like, oh, do you like this?
No,
shit?
more like it's sexy to eat their food.
Oh, so they have hot chicks eating it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I totally remember those commercials.
Eating a fucking fast food burger.
I will say this: as dumb as it is, it didn't work. It didn't make me want to go out and get Carl's Jr. But as dumb as I'm such a fucking simpleton that I still like back then when if I was still watching commercials, which I rarely do these days, obviously. But like when I watched it, I was just like, yeah, I like hot chicks, I guess. I mean, I still like looking at it.
I could get some Carl's Jr.
I mean, it's so dumb.
I don't know why.
I'm not saying like the ad didn't work, although I've always liked Carl's Jr. anyway. But
it's weird though.
Then I think it worked.
In a fast food place doing like a Axe body spray type.
Well, isn't Carl's Jr. basically just Hardee's? I mean,
yeah. In fact, it is
honestly, that sounds like kind of gross. I don't want those two things mixing, like sex and food. Just keep those separate.
Do people not George Costanza would disagree with you? That's what George.
No, you eat sushi off a naked person.
That's all right.
You lick whipped cream off a nipple.
Yeah.
That's
I don't want a burger off your tits.
No,
like, that sounds awful.
No, just French fries in your pussy, just eating them out.
Is that grease going down like from all?
Well, that would help. To be honest with you.
Jesus Christ. Fries in a pussy should not.
I mean, it works for
you go down. That should be a hindrance. That should be.
That's how I eat my vegetables. I put cheese on them, so if that would help.
Okay, so
you're saying that vaginas are the equivalent of vegetables.
If I could put some hot melted cheese down there, it would help out a lot of.
Big disagree. Giant disagree.
But I disagree. It's cookies, man. Cookies and milk. Mm-hmm. It's that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Cream.
Okay, now this is.
I just spit my fucking drink out.
This is the point. Anyway. This is the point I was trying to get to with the Carl's Jr. sexy thing, though. Like, there's literally probably they played this commercial 6 or 7 times throughout the night, so it's constantly setting the tone for this thing of just this ripped, shirtless guy just eating this burger.
Right.
And it's constantly cutting to that in the commercials.
So it's a dude. It's not even a chick.
Yeah, they also have a supermodel try to eat it sexy later on. So they do it.
Try.
Yeah, you can't do it. No matter how attractive you are, you can't make a fast food burger sexy.
No, you're right.
But we come back from the commercial, and it's like, I don't know, they have these weird celebrity endorsements, too, where, like, literally it's just Shaquille O'Neal. And he's like, I'm Shaquille O'Neal, and I'm wishing you a happy new year. Whack. And he just like,
oh, yeah, that was so weird.
Yeah.
Are they, like, pre-taped, or does he walk out on the stage? Okay.
Pre-taped.
Yeah.
Yeah, he walks on there. Wah. That
actually would be kind of funny if they were live in a way, because that almost would be funny then to me.
Yeah, because then it's like genuinely him being wacky.
And just stupid.
Rather than pre-done.
Okay, and then we have 2 interviewers it keeps cutting to throughout the night. They're both Jamie Kennedy.
And so they're like interviewing the shenanigans going on.
Yeah, interviewing celebrities, stuff like that. And it's 2 Jamie Kennedy collaborators. It's Stu Stone, who was like a part of several shows he's made in the past. And then
what's it like to be the guy behind Jamie Kennedy?
There's actually a very revealing moment about that later on. I'm very excited.
He might not like honestly that
dark realm.
I'll be interested to know when you say revealing, I'll be interested to know if it suggests that he does or doesn't like it. Because in the reality, as we talked before with Hollywood, dude, you take jobs which you can get them. We all have this thought that you're going to go out there, but sometimes if you just lock onto somebody and it's making you money. It's making you money.
Yeah, I mean, he's thinking he's made it.
And Stu Stone is like a dollar store. Like if you bought Pitbull off of Wish.com, like he's
that's pretty low. Pitbull's already bad enough. Got the dollar store.
Yeah.
He's what is Pitbull, by the way?
Confidence.
Is Pitbull a rapper?
Yes.
I guess.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? To me, like,
he's mostly a bald man in a suit, but he does rap.
If he were, and I'm not trying to say this in any racist way, but if he weren't like, what he is, like, what is he, Latino? I don't exactly. Yeah. If he weren't that, would he be anything? I mean, because he's like the family friendly, because they'll use him like for Super Bowl shit and stuff. But it's like, see, we have a rapping Latino, but he's not dangerous though.
Like Will Smith is too old now.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not trying to diss him, but I'm not trying to be like weird about that. But he's just like, he's a weird dude to me.
No, Pitbull is already, if you bought like a real rapper off of Wish.com, and then you got Stu Stone, who is just Pitbull without any of the confidence.
Yeah.
And him and then Jesse Cruikshank, who is like some woman who is like on some like CW shows with him, and I think she does
CW.
Dude.
Remember
and both
UPN?
of them are so incompetent.
I remember one of the things we watched. I was gonna say that the chick talks to Drake, not like the rapper Drake, but like Drake and Josh.
Yeah.
Nickelodeon. And pretty much just ask him who he's gonna kiss and fuck, like if he's gonna fuck tonight. And like he's like,
I think I might have remembered something about that.
Tell you about that.
Actually, I have the exact quote.
Yeah.
Are you going to kiss anybody? Are you going to use tongue? I hope she's over 18.
I remember this, even though I don't remember anything about the Jamie Kennedy New Year's thing. I remember this like making it to like like morning radio and stuff because it was so weird.
Yeah.
Are you going to use tongue?
I hope she's over 18. Why are you bringing statutory rape into this?
Do you
New Year's special?
Have you
Someone,
seen
by the way,
something? Do you know something about Drake that we don't?
Oh, sorry, real quick. This person said it right. This person does say it right. He goes about Pitbull. He goes, he provides diversity, but no politics. So he's cater-made for award shows, which is true.
No, totally.
It's diversity, but you don't have to deal with the whole, worrying about a social justice thing. So it's just like you just kind of slide him right in there.
Yep. And his family, actually, fun Pitbull fact, his family was one of the like rich people that fled to Miami when Fidel Castro.
Oh, really?
Became
that's actually pretty cool.
I mean, they were like literal plantation owners with slaves.
Oh no! I thought I'm sorry. I thought what you were saying was they fled in the sense of like they fled a shitty, like they were plantation owners.
Yeah. I mean, the
I take back my previous statement of that's pretty cool. I'm sorry, I totally misheard that. Okay,
so and it's like they can't even. I don't know, like you can feel how nervous everybody is to the point where they can't even get like a sentence out. They're saying weird shit and they're not even like saying it coherently. Like she ends the Drake interview and she's like, all right, thank you to the second most hardcore person named Drake on the whole universe.
Is she drunk? Is she wasted?
No.
Do any of them kind of seem drunk? Or do you think they're like fumbling?
None of them.
Okay, none of them seem drunk.
No, we do have a moment. Macy Gray does a performance and she is wasted.
I don't know if I remember who that is.
I try to say goodbye and I crumble.
Oh yeah. I guess I remember that.
Yeah.
So like
I'm weird with names sometimes.
Okay. So then we cut to Adam Pearce, who's some sort of boxer, I guess.
Okay.
And he is playing blackjack, and I don't know what the fuck is going on with him. Like he's playing blackjack, and they start talking to him for a minute because this is also sponsored by a casino, which we'll get into.
Awesome.
And he's like getting mad at the blackjack dealer. I don't know if it's a bit. I don't know if it just happened.
No, it seemed legit. He seemed mad. He hits this table like hard. The stuff like falls off it.
He yells, "Come on, hurry up, dealer! Hit me in the face!" And like,
are they like in a casino? I mean, are they in a little set off? Like, is it? Are these kind of
VIP area in the back of this like arena?
Is it kind of like SNL in a way on some level, or not really? Like, you know what I mean? Are there different?
Like, you mean like in the background when they'll do background shots of like stuff?
Like, is he in the studio just in a different area, kind of like, and they're like, we're going back to the VIP.
Yes, because he's being interviewed by Stu Stone. Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah.
And in fact, Stu Stone says,
looks like a warehouse. It doesn't look like
I don't know where
it doesn't look like a VIP area or like a studio. It looks like a warehouse. There's
they probably had him in kind of not one of the best sound stages.
Pounding this blackjack table, yelling at this blackjack dealer, and Stu Stone seems like legit shaking, and he's like, "All right, things are getting a little crazy out here, so back to you." And then they just cut. Okay. Oh, and the thing is too, the cuts on this are so off and so bad. Like sometimes they'll say "back to you," and then the camera will just sit on them staring blank.
you know what's funny? Like what people don't realize, not to get too like nerdy about it, but like when it comes to producing live, and I've never done it by any means, but again, I've watched kind of a lot of stuff. I'm interested in it. When it comes to producing live TV, you don't realize that when nothing goes wrong, how hard that is. And when people aren't good at what they do, or there's tension or there's awkwardness, you're seeing there how bad it can be. Like if it's not done right.
Like this is the worst case scenario of all things together, like incompetence, tension, like nobody knows.
Right. Probably not even a huge budget in reality.
Yeah.
And that's a sweet spot to me. That is where it has that like similarity with Woodstock 99. Is just this moment where everything
fucked up,
conspired at once to go wrong.
Yeah.
On every level. So, okay. So like, then we have like, he has these skits he does in between too that are all like, because it's sponsored by Hardee's and it's sponsored by he does later as a Native American. Him and all of his friends.
Awesome.
It's a very racist sketch, but we're not quite there yet.
Sorry, I just wanted to know if he does it. You said
he actually does. He actually does in this one too.
I would say, by the way, when he asked him about whether apparently there's a racist Native American sketch, like this was 2013, and I'm not trying to say there was a time when racism was okay and there wasn't, but I kind of. No. Yeah, I know. But I was always going to say, like, around 2010 is where I kind of draw a line and go, before that, I kind of can go, there was a culture, not saying it was right, but people kind of all did this. And honestly, everything after 2010, you have to be smarter.
Totally. And the thing that's fucking crazy about this, too, is it is being sponsored by Hardee's and then sponsored by a casino.
Right.
And so Eagle Commerce Casino, I guess.
Oh, that's obviously been there many times.
Yeah, right. But like, and so these should be bland, flavorless crap. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, we gotta not piss anybody off. We gotta go middle of the road. We're just advertising our casino. The first one is probably the least bad of the casino sketches, although it really sucks, where he basically is like, I'm going to be a mascot for this casino and dresses up as like a blackjack thing. And it's just a lot of him. He's like sneaking into the bathroom and sliding under the toilet, like under the stall and being like, you just did a royal flush.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, so these are he didn't like, he pre-filmed this.
Pre-filmed this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
that's even worse because that means he was able to look at them and not do another take.
This was a contest.
Yeah. You'd have to be like looking at the audience and playing this sketch and hoping they think it's funny. Like just sitting there and having no influence on it.
You have to. Well, he might not know it's not.
Imagine bringing this to the casino that is sponsoring this and having them sit there and watch this.
Yep, this looks good.
Like, all right, you're the funny man. You know jokes. Like, okay.
Honestly, I'm sure they didn't see any of it. I bet that they just agreed.
They just signed off on it.
Could be either that, or it would be one of those awkward. Like I think about all the time with commercials and stuff. The way commercials are so not funny, and there's got to be a room of people all sitting trying to force themselves to laugh watching this. Like this is good. This is actually pretty funny. Yeah, like we did something.
I would love that. That's a great point. I would love that because some of them are there's some that make it, but I would like to know like in the room. You're right. I'm gonna pray that there were actually comedy writers trying to get them to be funny, and unfortunately, there's fucking lawyers and bullshit in there saying nope, that's too edgy, or no, that's
do that. Yeah,
right. I'm praying that they're not comedy people that are actually like legitimately like, oh no,
this is hilarious. Gold. Yeah, this is gold. Yeah. Comedy gold.
So then, okay, I meant to write down her name and I didn't, but he interviews some Olympic gold medalist. This is also a pre-taped thing.
Right.
And decides he's going to do it like dressed as like a woman in like short shorts and a tank top. And she's very uncomfortable. He's trying to like crack jokes and like she's not getting it. She's like, who is this?
Now he's not even like
this is pre-taped, so she's supposed to be like on board with it, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she probably was just told that, hey, because Olympians don't get a lot.
Hey, we got a comedian he's interviewing you.
Right. Olympians honestly don't get
takes, though. That's what I'm thinking.
Like, different takes?
Yeah.
I think this was the best they had.
Now, Scott, like you said, like, so he's just dressed as a generic girl. Like, I don't even mind that he's dressed up as a girl, but he's just generically like a girl interviewing an Olympian.
It's like, just imagine you trained your entire fucking life to be the best runner there is, and you do it, and you get a fucking gold medal. And then you have this jackass with his dick outlined in these short shorts.
Right.
Just
what I was gonna say is like
you stupid questions.
Yeah, what I was gonna say to me is like it'd be one thing, almost like let's say he dressed in like a girl's like gymnastics leotard, but it was like themed for the Olympics or like he was just generically dressed.
Yeah,
in women's clothing with no
like we need here. You know what's funny?
Right,
he's dressing like a woman.
Yeah. That's you're right. That's my point. Like I think you got what my point was. Like that's it. It's like so his thought was it doesn't need to have any context. I'm a man dressed as a woman, so it's funny.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah,
what's funny is when guys dress up as girls.
And
like so then there's one point where he's like, what's the weirdest thing anybody has asked to do to your medals? And she's like, I don't know. One time a guy asked to kiss it, which I mean, I thought was strange because I wouldn't put my mouth on something a bunch of people had touched. And he goes, he caught something. Yes, he did.
What? And just asserting that he caught something from that?
And then
that is so
awkward, dude. Like
for jokes.
Like so bad.
Oh,
dude, like by the way, idiot. I know it's MTV, but he thinks, what does he want? He wants her to say some guy jerked off onto it. I mean, is that what he wanted to say?
What was he expecting to get out of it?
I mean, I know it's MTV, it's not NBC, but still, dude, it's an MTV. I mean, literally, what's the worst thing anyone guys ever like? That's all he's hoping for is that she says, "Oh yeah, I jerked off on
it, and I watched,
watched it, rubbed it down my fucking pants."
Yeah, that's what he wanted,
and that's the thing.
That's absolutely what he wanted.
Yeah,
and I love that's the thing is it's like the live section is so bad, but there was also people wrote these jokes, people wrote these interview questions.
Right, that is a good point. Unless he did,
so
I guess.
Bad.
I mean,
yeah, I mean they are his style. If it wasn't, it was some fucking like low wage writer writing in Jamie Kennedy's style.
And in this sentence, to Tyler's kind of point earlier, in this situation, even if someone wrote them for him, he is the talent. He's the host of this fucking show, and he okayed it, and he asked it.
Exactly.
It's different for like the gymnast, because Olympians don't get a lot of time where they really can get some publicity. No one cares about them for most of the time.
Yeah.
And so she probably was just like, hey, Jamie Kennedy's doing a thing. She had an agent. She's like, just do it.
Absolutely, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Right. I'll do anything. Because again, in about a week, no one's going to care who I am anymore.
Yeah. But... Okay. So then we cut to Jessie Cruikshank, the woman interviewer, interviewing the Playboy model, and she wants her to sexily eat Carl's.
This wasn't
Jr.
even a commercial. It's just made her.
No, this was live. This was
like
live.
Red carpet stuff.
Well,
I mean, I guess
basically red carpet. It was the same warehouse that fucking.
Was there backdrops to some of this stuff? Like, were they moving around and there was like, oh, we're over. We said like over.
A giant screen of just Carl's Jr. The giant Carl's Jr. advertisement in the background at all times.
Very classy.
And then she eats it, right?
She eats it, and it's so awkward. It's so bad. And then Jessie Cruikshank.
Is she trying to do it sexy? Like, did you feel bad for her? Is she
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly that.
Absolutely. And Jessie Cruikshank is trying to make it sexy too. And she's like, I'm a vegetarian, but I am so turned on right now.
What?
And then at one point she goes,
what does that have to do with food?
Why don't you let it drip somewhere?
I get it.
Then this was maybe my favorite moment of the whole thing. When you were asking about what it must be like for Stu Stone to be somebody under Jamie Kennedy. Jessie Cruikshank, I rewound this several times because just the absolute absurdity of this moment exists. She transitions to Stu Stone and she says, "Are you jealous that I'm here with this sexy Playboy model right now?" And I don't know what Stu Stone heard, but he responds, "Actually, I wish I was Jamie Kennedy, but I am not."
Does he sound sincere?
Yeah, he sounds sincere.
Yes. I don't know what question he thought she asked.
Do you think he had a gun to his head for somebody and he had to respond that way at some point during the night? It's just like, this is my opportunity.
No,
so she asked him, "Don't you wish you could be here at this Playboy model right now?"
This sexy Playboy model. She's saying she's with the Playboy model.
And he says,
"Actually, I wish I was Jamie Kennedy right now, but I am not."
Was Jamie Kennedy? Was Jamie Kennedy getting a blowjob or something like he knew about?
No, I wonder if I'm almost trying to give this guy a benefit of the doubt. Like, do you think that that was actually a slight in his mind, or he starts saying that Jamie Kennedy's making money, or does it sound like he's like maybe?
What I think happened is I think that she asked him that question. He heard the word jealous and he misheard what the question was.
Oh, okay.
And thought she was asking him if he was jealous of Jamie Kennedy, and then responded to that.
Does it sound like he meant it though?
Yes.
That's the best.
Well, that's interesting. I'd be very curious.
Highest level that you aspire to be. Just like, I want to be the host. Like, I guess.
I mean, just the Freudian complexity.
Yeah,
of that
and he
whole
slipped
moment.
out.
I just love. So then we cut to Stu Stone, and he's interviewing Anna Rosales, who's some clean energy representative. And there is like literally for like 2 minutes, this drunk woman behind him doing the little talking motion with her mouth and like mocking him.
That's so inappropriate.
And is she just like a random person?
Just a random person.
The absurdity that every moment, like, I can tell that you're just like going down the list of like, this is a scene, this is the next scene, this is the next scene. So it's like every single moment was fucked up. Was there any? I have a question. Like, do they have any
competent?
Like? Yes.
No.
At any point.
No. Oh no. Bone Thugs and Harmony does a musical set,
and it's fine.
And it's fine.
Okay.
Do they do a ball drop at some point, or like?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. It's okay. So then we get Macy Gray's performance, and Macy Gray is stumbling fucking drunk and like slurring her way through songs.
Do they reference it at all?
No, they don't directly reference it, but she's being like very weird. Like, she is like at one point she goes, "What time is it?" And somebody yells 11:50, and she says 11:15, and they go, "No, 11:50." And she says 11:15. What time is it? "Oh, it's in 10 minutes. What do you guys want to do at midnight? Let's just be early." And then just starts doing a countdown.
I wonder, and I'm not trying to give like she's just doing a countdown.
She started doing her own countdown.
But wait a minute, even in her own drunk mind, she says 10 minutes, not like, so she's
Let's do it now.
9 minutes and 59 seconds.
She counts down from 10 minutes.
But no, she counts all the way down from 10. Does the 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
And we're at 11:15 in reality.
11:50.
Dude,
okay.
That's gonna like disjoint the whole thing, because it's like, was that the thing?
The balloons
was that
come down.
The moment we're supposed to act like it's the end of the new year?
And the crowd is acting so confused. And then she's like, "You guys sure are quiet for a lot of sexy people." And then she just moves on to her next song.
I wonder if, and I don't know anything about her, to be honest with you. I barely knew the song that she said, but I did know it. I wonder if she's just a drunk, if she's got actual problems, or if this special, if it was so obvious that the special was just shit, that she was just like, "Fuck this." You know what I mean?
Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm getting drunk.
Right. This is a mess. I wish I wasn't even here.
So that might be the case.
I mean, she's not somebody who is known for
getting drunk
and fucking up performances.
Okay, so see, maybe
I
think it was the environment. Yeah, I do.
It's like, this is so fucked. Give me some liquor.
Yeah, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
And then she goes, "Look at all you sexy people. My name is Macy Gray. What's your name?" And then like points the mic to the crowd.
Oh, I would if I was there, yell out my individual name.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you supposed to do there? And the
crowd is 248-93.
248.
Start to my phone number out.
Right?
Seriously. But that's such a weird thing to expect the crowd to call out, and just everybody.
There's probably about 100 people there, 150 usually in a crowd like that. Like,
yeah, right. Oh my god.
So then everybody gets on stage with Macy Gray because it's time to like ring in the new year. We're like 3 minutes.
What happened when she went to 1? Tyler was right. What happened when she got to 1? Did she just jump up and down a little bit and then nothing happened?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly that. Like, she counted down. Everybody was confused. She goes, "You people, you sure are silent for a lot of sexy people."
And then they came over and were like, we still got another 9 minutes till the New Year.
yeah.
So everybody gets on stage. Stu Stone, Jesse Cruikshank, Jamie Kennedy, and they are on stage. It's like 3 minutes until the New Year, and they realize they have no way to tell when the New Year is. And they're like scrambling around.
There's not a stage hand or something.
Why can't they tell what time it is?
I have no idea, but they very clearly
like there should be a production assistant or something.
We don't know what time. Didn't they have a phone?
Yeah, because they go, we forgot to pay a clock guy.
That's the most important part.
You're telling me out of probably like 1,000 people, nobody has a watch.
Well, at that point, why not just go to the crowd again? Anyone in the crowd know what time it is.
Seriously, you don't have a single intern in your fucking earpiece?
Like somebody, dude, what they're supposed
This
to be
is
like
falling
production
apart,
assistants.
like Eric said. Hey, everybody, what time is it?
That's the one thing you should indisputably know in a New Year's thing. Is exactly when it's midnight.
We forgot to hire a clock guy. What would that mean? A guy with a watch that just stands there? What would that even entail?
I would assume an intern in your earpiece.
And by the way,
we got 2 more minutes. We got 1 more minute.
Typically, they have a fucking like a clock above the ball,
and they did not. Just a hardy star.
Well, not just that, by the way, but when Scott's right, like Scott keeps talking about a guy in your ear. This is live television. You're supposed to have somebody coming like, "Oh, we're going to break in 30." We're doing commercials and stuff. There's someone doing a run sheet of what's going down. Like
they didn't have that guy.
So they're all like standing around vamping, trying to figure out the situation. And Jesse Cruikshank is just trying to like divert attention and talk about something else. And she goes, "There are children in the crowd drinking. You're too young to be drinking champagne."
Okay. By the way, no, there's not.
She's not wrong, probably.
There's no way there is though, dude. It's again shows like this. They're not walking around.
You're
with
not having kids. You don't have kids there.
No, it was just
she's just
wasting.
Wasted. See some people. She's like, "You little children, why are you drinking?"
So then they count down the New Year 10 seconds too late. Like it's already the New Year's over, and they start going 10, 9, 8. And you can see it because there is a little clock on the screen.
So there were
you can see that it's off by 10 seconds.
Two countdowns, and neither one of them were the correct countdown.
Neither one of them
so
were the
nobody
correct
knows when the New Year happened.
No. And there is a clock on your screen, so you can see, it's 12 o'clock in 1 second. They start going 10.
So the one person watching live is like, "No."
Studio's like, "I got a clock, but nobody's calling me."
Seriously.
Man.
Okay, then they do a string of interviews immediately after 2013, and I'm just going to read this verbatim because it is a series of insane interviews, one after the other, because it's Stu Stone walking through the crowd. And he goes, "Happy New Year! It's 2013. It's finally 2013. Sir, what is your name?" The first guy goes, "George." Stu Stone goes, "Do you have a New Year's resolution?" George says, "Yeah." Stu says, "What is it?" George says, "I want to be home."
Please let me go home.
Yeah, you keep roping me into this stuff. I just want to get out of here.
What is his reaction to
You already
that?
had 2 countdowns. I just want to go.
Seriously.
Does he have any reaction to that? Just moves
No, he
on.
immediately moves to the next guy. So he goes,
God, I wish I could have been in this crowd.
You're like, "Whoops, shouldn't have asked that, dude."
So he goes, "What is your name?" This guy goes, "Talon, motherfucker." So then he quickly moves to the third person.
Why would you keep going? Why would you keep going?
Could you imagine watching TV? I'm Talon, motherfucker.
So he moves to the third person. He goes, "What is your name?" And this woman goes, "I'm Talon's mother."
Oh my God.
Stu says, And what is your New Year's resolution? She goes, I don't know. And Stu goes, well, maybe it should be to teach your son to speak properly.
I mean, that's not, I think that's
Don't
that's something.
Don't make it worse. So, oh my God.
I don't know. I think it's something.
I'm Cowan's mother.
He's just openly fighting with the audience.
By the way, why wouldn't you go like down the aisle and go crisscross? Why are you just going to the three people next to each other? Like, there's a chance they're all going to know each other.
At this point, they're all on stage, right?
No, Stu Stone is in the crowd. He's talking to random people.
Okay.
God, I wish I could have been at this show.
So then we go to a fourth guy, and he goes, and what is your New Year's resolution? And the fourth guy goes, I just want to say I love my wife, and I wish you could be here right now, baby. And Stu says, I love your wife, too, and I wish she was here.
Why? What is this dude's deal?
By the way, this guy...
like real shit slip into his like interviewing.
Yeah.
By the way, this dude saying I love my wife. Fuck you, dude. You were given a golden opportunity. You heard?
Isn't she with him?
She's just not. He says, I wish you could be here with me. And
No. Fuck him. He just heard what happened, what went down with these other people. You have a golden opportunity to say anything you want on this live television show, and he gets this real bullshit of like he loves it. You can tell your fucking wife you love her any other time. You're on the Jamie Kennedy New Year's special. Say something obnoxious, dude. Like,
okay, keep it rolling. Okay, but you got to think about this. This is the one guy who says something actually normal.
Right.
Stu Stone still makes it weird.
Yeah, that is fucking terrible. Like, you think he could have been like, wow, finally someone we don't have to bleep or something. Or...
yeah, right.
Thank you, sir. Like, you could have thanked him.
You love your wife. Cool. But then he makes it weird.
Yeah.
So it wasn't.
I mean, we might as well just ask, is your wife hot? Like,
yeah. Can I fuck your wife? Like,
yeah. You got down with threesome, sir?
Okay, so then we cut to there's another like one of the commercials for the casino, and it is Jamie Kennedy in just full Native American ceremonial headdress. And
oh God.
They have some sort of weird concept. I watched this twice. I still didn't really get it. Like, they're Mayans, and they're upset about that 2012, the apocalypse didn't happen.
Right.
And somehow that results in them storming the casino.
Their own casino?
No.
I'm just kidding.
I'm sure that was a weird aspect to it, too. You know what I mean? Like, but they're storming the casino.
Okay.
And then, like,
and it's like a sketch.
It's not just Jamie.
No, it's him and like 3 or 4 other people.
Okay.
And the whole joke is like once they're in there, they all are getting like, they're all like, oh, I actually want to play blackjack. This place is awesome. Like,
our casino.
Oh, that's so
the casino then go our casino.
Like, this is amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
I love gambling.
Hey, our casinos are even accepted by Mayans.
Mayans even come here.
And maybe you guys can understand this joke. I could not. It seems vaguely racist, but I couldn't understand it. They walk inside, and there's like a statue of an Indian chief. And then Jamie Kennedy goes, hey, isn't that Uncle Chipotle? And he points to the statue.
I mean, I guess he's making a Chipotle joke, but it's an Indian.
How does that have to do with, like, why do you say uncle? You should have said, like
he's their relative.
An Indian name or something.
Like he's their relative. I think Chipotle was supposed to be an Indian name, but I have no idea what that's supposed to be.
No, it's supposed to be Chipotle. It's got to be a thing.
It's got to be a Chipotle joke, right?
In there. They said Chipotle.
It said Chipotle.
Yeah, but like it's his name. They're making a fucking reference to Chipotle. Which doesn't make.
I think someone just wanted to make I think someone just wanted to make a racist joke about how Indian names can be.
Yeah, but it sounds like Chipotle.
That's what I think, personally.
Okay, so we get done with that commercial.
I'd argue that it is racist, by the way.
Yeah, I'd argue that you're right. It doesn't make sense.
It's definitely racist. It manages to both be incoherent.
Well, the funny thing is, it's almost so stupid that it's racist, but you can't like prove it.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that is exactly what it is. Okay, so then we get Jamie Kennedy is interviewing some woman from like a heart foundation. And he just goes, I got a scar from you
The
guys.
Bret
Wanna
Hart
see?"
Foundation.
And starts unbuttoning his shirt to show her his scar on his chest.
Awesome.
Who does it?
Jamie Kennedy.
Oh my God.
Oh, wait a minute. What? Why is Jamie Kennedy taking off a thing for his scar?
Because it's fitting for the end of this thing.
So he's like, "Oh yeah,
like
you
a
work with
heart
some
foundation."
You work with some people with heart problems? Well, I got something too.
I got heart problems.
Exactly. And then he goes, and then he says, "I'm just kidding. That's not from you guys. I got stabbed by a Puerto Rican girl in the 70s.
What?
And then like she's just looked at him like, "What?" And he's like, "It's a joke. It's 12:30."
What?
I suppose.
yeah, that's an answer.
Yep.
You can't just say things are a joke. They have to be a joke.
Yeah, you can't just say, yeah, that was a joke after you said a sentence.
Yeah,
Right,
if it was
like-
a joke, I would be laughing.
Yeah, there was no
So
punchline.
funny, I
You
forgot
just
to
said
laugh.
smooch. Yeah. You can't tell. Yeah.
Okay, and then they do like, I don't know, a weird sad puppet sketch where it's a bunch of puppets who are super into Jamie Kennedy for some reason, and they're like, "Oh, you're the guy from Scream. Do your monologue from Scream." And he just does like the Scream monologue about
Oh my god.
about
So
how
that's
there's
purely just him
rules
wanting
for
to
a
do
horror
Scream
movie.
again to let everyone know he did that.
Yeah.
Seriously, I
There's no
and-
other reason for it.
And then we cut to the ending, and everybody's on stage. They're like, "Oh, good night, we made it." Blah blah blah. And then
We made
a
it like
fight,
that Titanic happened.
and then a fight just breaks out
Amongst the people or in the crowd?
amongst the people.
amongst the crowd.
Yeah.
And Jamie Kennedy goes, "Well, now there's a fist fight. Now this is happening."
A fist fight. Probably just so much
At
tension
least
from
he didn't
sitting
get
there for that
involved in
long.
the fist fight. I give him a little bit of chops for not jumping in there.
Yeah, I mean, given how the night went.
Yeah, it seems like something he totally. Just see like Macy Gray in the background punching out an audience member.
But there's
I'm gonna
just
have to
something
watch this.
I just
Yeah.
love about like the energy of that like that's just how the night ends.
Well,
After
I mean,
everything.
I can't blame the people in that cry. I can only imagine what that must have been like to have to sit through all that.
Yeah,
The
for real.
fight was probably like, probably they were trying to decide, like, they were like closing the door or whatever, and then probably one person was like, "We can go now," and they started fighting it out the door. Like that's what that fight was.
Just
It's
so
like the
full of
door's
energy.
open, we're free,
yeah.
free.
Why would?
There's
Yeah, you're free, so you just gotta fight.
But to this
Fight
day,
your
I bet
way
there's probably still a support group that meets up for people that were at that show that night. Like,
Seriously, like, yeah.
out. Yeah, remember that night? Some PTSD.
I
shit.
still wake up in the morning thinking about
Get
it.
them shakes.
The Woodstock 99 support group's like, "You haven't seen shit."
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Oh yeah, for sure. But
yeah. You know what mud people are? You don't know shit.
Right.
Uh,
But yeah.
what time are we at here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're at time to
to
probably wrap it up. I mean,
No,
I
I was just kind of joking, but
I'm at the end of my notes though too, so perfect time.
no, I mean I was joking in a serious way. That's a joke, guys.
Yeah, it's a oh, thank you for telling us, Eric. Otherwise,
Right,
we would
right.
not.
That was a
It's
joke.
very important
We
to say it's a
appreciate
joke after doing.
I should start doing that
Otherwise,
next.
I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
Whenever I do comedy again, whenever I decide to start doing comedy again, I should do that one set. I should do a set like that where I
Yeah.
tell jokes and then just every time at the end just go, "That's a joke," and then just start going on to the next one. Like no segues,
Serious.
just like
Oh, actually, I do have one more thing to talk about with the New
Okay.
Year's special. Jamie Kennedy tried to pretend it was all like a setup afterwards.
That
Like
it was
people
a
were
setup to take
interviewing
him
him, asking what happened, and he's like, "Oh, we were trying to do this kind of edgy anti-comedy sort of thing."
oh, shut up.
Yeah, shut the hell up.
Like, he's so full of
Seriously.
shit. But that was his.
I mean,
line.
I guess he
His line
has.
was-
I hate to say this. If you're in that world, I'm not trying to give him an out, but if you're in that world, as dumb as it, I wouldn't care because I would just fucking say, yeah, it was a shit show in the end. But for the most part, if you're Jamie Kennedy, you probably do have to just sit there and pretend it was like, even if you like, I'm just.
Is
although
that
I think
better? Is that better? The idea that you planned?
I
this
don't think
thing,
it is,
though?
but I think in this weird Hollywood way, they're all so fake that I think
Yeah.
that maybe that is how it works. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fair. It was probably a career move. It was
Now, if I
probably
didn't know him for being such a douchebag from the shit you told me earlier about his podcast, now really in my mind, he probably just believed that. If he was,
Yeah.
now that I think about it, if he was anybody else, I'd be like, they're probably just trying to save face.
Yep.
But actually,
Yeah,
having
no,
said
he
that,
full on believes
convinced
He probably does
himself.
believe it.
I
Yeah,
actually
he's like,
would.
I did
totally
something
buy
They
so
were trying
crazy.
to screw up my career.
That's how
Yeah.
edgy I am.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people
bullshit.
didn't get it. I was ahead of my time. Like,
Maybe in 20 years we'll look back and think of it as an incredible.
I mean,
special.
him
Although
in
we're
an
already
Indian headdress is not ahead of his time. It's definitely going backwards. And
and it would have been in 2013. That was kind of my point earlier. Like that.
Yeah.
That wasn't. Again, it's not that ever.
Yeah, 2010 is a good cutoff. Like
That's just it's arbitrary. But in my mind, it's a kind of an arbitrary kind of time frame to me.
2013, you knew better.
Yeah, when
Yeah,
it was
you
like
knew better.
we all knew that we should start being a little more mature with some of our shit. I mean,
Yeah.
and
yeah,
sensitive.
and I mean, he obviously didn't learn because he got in trouble for doing blackface.
Right.
Like in the last year or two, and was very. You guys,
I
gotta
wonder
listen to
if
that
he.
podcast.
I
was
wonder if he
very
did it.
angry
I
Yeah, you
wonder
gotta
if he
sign
did it just to fucking. I wonder if he did it. Not saying he's not racist. I'm not. I wonder what I know about him now, though. If he didn't just do it just so he could talk about it on a show, just so people could.
To get attention.
I
Like-
think it was more so this was a
He's
character.
shocking.
I was an artist because he was sitting there like trying to be like, no, there were like black people at the like on the set when I was filming this, being like, wow,
Right.
you're really inhabiting this character.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
give me a
they
break! No, there weren't.
No, there
I
weren't.
want those people's
And if
names.
they were
And I
the
want them
little
interviewed.
yes men that were just fucking feeding him shit.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah. Final thoughts, anybody?
Yeah. Final thought.
God, I don't even know. I was trying to think of what a final thought would be.
I'd say my final thought would be I kind of wish more things were like this that were live.
Yeah.
I would watch every New Year's if it was like this one.
You stole my final thought. That was literally I was gonna say.
So he did his job, though. That's the funny thing, that he did do his job.
Yeah, because it's more interesting.
Yeah,
than the
nobody's
other
talking about the fucking 2014 New Year.
I don't even know who hosted it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I guess if I had to go with a final thought, my final thought would be I don't know what I thought about Jamie Kennedy going in. I didn't really have a feeling for him. I thought he was probably just a guy. And now I would think that fuck that guy. Like,
Yeah,
he's
he's
not
the
like
worst.
such a douche. And I don't even care about the racist shit. Like, I don't like racist shit, but just being such a douchebag with
No,
this,
that whole like telling that dude about how he had sex with those women and stuff,
yeah,
like such a
ridiculous.
Yeah.
ego-driven jackass.
Yeah.
And I don't
Yep.
like the racist shit too. To be clear, I just all of it
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
Like,
just,
You know,
me
the
neither.
racist shit was fine. It was the just general douchery.
you know what? I let a lot go sometimes when it comes to quote unquote. Like if you believed he was a nice guy and he was actually trying to be funny, it's like sometimes I'm someone who can let things go more if I really believe the dude's just trying to be funny.
Yeah.
But when you
Yeah.
find more things about somebody, then you give them less leeway when they do something like that to me. That's
Yeah.
how I work.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I would just say like to me with my final thought too, I would just add that like there is almost nobody else on earth. There are people who are hacks, like like Adam Sandler, like
he the
Jeff
king hack?
Dunham. Like, what'd you say?
Is he the king hack?
He is a hack that lacks any sort of, like I was saying earlier, any sort of charisma, any sort of likability. Like that's the thing, is at the very least you're like Jeff Dunham's got his aw shucks thing, like fucking Adam Sandler's kinda has
I
a
like
certain
Adam
charm
Sandler.
to him.
Yeah.
He's got a certain charm to him. And Jamie Kennedy has none of that. Like anytime
Right.
you
Wouldn't even
see
put
him,
them-
anytime he is talking, you are like, I hate you. I want you away from me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was getting mad at work listening to my podcast, listening to his podcast. Like, it was affecting my mood.
I feel like it absolutely should, or you're a real shitty dumb person.
Yeah.
If you're enjoying that crap, like his opinion on the world.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Tyler, I don't know what you're even doing next week. I don't.
Yeah, we didn't really discuss it. So I want to finish out. We were talking on that last one that I did with the bad kid stories. I would like, we went to the tip of the iceberg with that stuff. And I looked up a lot of stuff about the most evil children. So like, I would like to finish that episode off. So we'll do a part 2 of bad kid stories.
All
So
right,
if you have
awesome.
anything else you can think of, think of it. And I'll
All right,
have some
sounds
questions
good.
for you.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Next
That'll be
week.
fun.
Part 2.
All right. Yeah. Please like, subscribe, give us 5
Review.
stars. Review on iTunes,
Everything,
Spotify,
please.
Stitcher.
Like our page on Facebook, 2 Hippies, 1 Drunk. It's all One word, right? It's all one thing, one chunk. So
number 2, number 1.
Yeah. Download our episodes on iTunes, or Spotify, like he was saying, all that stuff.
All right. See you later, guys.
Yeah. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.